Today we're answering some of the most common questions runners ask on the internet. This is Coach Parry Auto Suggest. Okay, today we're talking about do runners. And first up, do runners wear underwear?
Do runners wear underwear? Most runners do wear underwear. And underwear probably fulfill three major functions. The first is for protection. When we run, we expose ourselves to high impact forces, so the testicles and the breast in particular can bounce around a lot. So you want to wear good quality underwear so that they can protect both your breasts and your testicles and prevent them from bouncing a lot. This is especially relevant when you're doing trail running and coming downhill where there is a lot of bouncing, and it can become quite painful when you do this for a long period of time. The second function that underwear fulfills is that it provides warmth. So in hotter environments, you might want to select running shorts that have got built-in underwear, which is a little bit thinner, so it can still perform that protective function, but you don't get too hot. And in colder environments, put on proper underwear so that you really can warm up. And then the third function is to really wick away the sweat so that it can help minimize the chafe that builds up, particularly between your butt cheeks.
Okay, so no commando it is. Next up is do runners live longer? Over to you, Dev.
There have actually been 1 or 2 studies, and the short answer is yes, runners do live longer. However, from that research, it shows that it's probably only slightly longer than the rest of the population. Keep in mind that running, or exercise in general really, has health benefits. So there are ways of reducing your risk of serious illnesses and diseases. So running will definitely help. There was actually some data gathered on the first 20 runners to break the 4-minute mile in history. And of those runners, 18 of those runners lived into their 80s, 6 of which have actually managed to live into their 90s. Where those runners lived in an era and were born in countries that only had life expectancies of about the mid-70s. So that in itself, again, not necessarily scientific, but evidence does show that runners do have a slightly longer life expectancy.
Next up, do runners need protein?
Do runners need protein? Awesome question, because we're always speaking around carbs and replenishing carbohydrates after our runs, but protein is important for runners. Essentially, every time you're running, there are muscle contractions, and as we're exercising or as we're running, those muscle fibers are breaking a little bit. So we have to make sure that we take in the correct nutrition to help those muscles resynthesize. The muscle's composition is essentially protein, and so when you take in an exogenous source or outside protein as nutrition, that'll help with the resynthesis of your muscles after training. Carbohydrates is still the most important thing that we need to replenish there, but we're looking at about a 4-to-1 ratio, so 4 carb to 1 protein after our training runs. And definitely when you're doing strength training, you want to increase that protein intake a little bit more. Protein intake is even more important as we age. So as we are aging, obviously we are losing lean muscle mass at quite a linear / exponential rate as the older we get. And so you really want to ensure that you're taking in more protein as you're getting older, so we can start combating that loss of lean muscle mass.
Now that we know what we need to know about protein, let's take a look at the next question, which is, do runners have low blood pressure? Over to you, Ntutu.
So each person's blood pressure will be unique to them, but we know that exercise in the long term, as you get fitter, reduces blood pressure. So we know that regular exercise strengthens your heart, which means that your heart can pump more blood with less effort, and in this way reduces your blood pressure. And this applies to both aerobic exercise and resistance training. So for this reason, we can actually say that runners definitely have a lower blood pressure.
All right, and then next up is, do runners age faster? Over to you, Shona.
Do runners age faster? Very often this is a misconception that runners do age a little bit quicker than people who don't run. And the reason for that is really because they are outdoors more. So they are affected by the sun a lot more. And so the sun without any protection will affect your skin and make your skin look like it ages a little bit quicker. Your skin is your biggest organ in your body, and so we really need to protect that. So make sure that you are putting on a really good factor of sunscreen before you go out. even if it's not warm outside, the sun still has an effect. But essentially, there is no physiological reason as to why runners will age quicker than a non-runner. In actual fact, the science has shown that runners will live longer than a non-runner because of the cardiovascular effects that are very positive with running.
Thank you very much, Shona. If you're one of those runners who wants to run faster as you get older, we're hosting a Faster Beyond 50 masterclass that'll show you exactly how you can increase your running speed as you get older. And you can save your seat in that masterclass by clicking on the link on screen now.